We've just got the Vulkan II TKL, and we have one question. Is it worth it? Okay, we're going to start things off with an unboxing, and then we're going to jump over here to take you through our full review. We've been using this for the last couple of weeks. Thanks to this one over here, we are going to unbox a fresh one for you guys. Shout out to our friends at Turtle Beach for providing us with these review samples. We do have a creator code. Use ICU to save 10% on any Turtle Beach purchases, including the Vulkan II TKL. If you like this after seeing it and you want to pick it up, make sure you use code ICU. We'll come back to that in a little bit. This isn't a sponsored video, but we do have hashtag ad on it. We'll explain that when we get to the review. For now though, let's start the unboxing. Okay, so we do have a protective plastic sleeve over it now with some tape. I'm hoping I can just peel the tape without absolutely destroying the plastic. Not that I'm too bothered, I don't want to keep the plastic, but you know, I do have a reputation on this channel. Just made eye contact with Bibby as I said that then, so. Yeah, there we go. Box Destroyer is the one actually, yeah. So this, get out of there. Okay, nice, glossy. I don't know what the right wording is. Maybe embossed. I don't know if that. I don't know it. I need to up my language because I think I used embossed for everything. But it's a nice card finish. But then there's extra shine where the actual keyboard is. UK version of it with linear switches, as you can see, and then similar sort of bit. You can see it. Maybe if I get the angling right, there's like a shine on the keyboard. He says that and then manages to not get it. There we go. Yeah, there we are. On the keyboard bit. Those a bit shiny, nice to touch. Okay, stickers on it. We'll take one off. That was effortless, so this one's going to be a pain. Yep, yes it is. Yes it is. This is the bit where Bibby cuts in a speed up take. No, we are actually in. There we go. Okay, I'm going to move these. So, nice, fresh, clean, Turtle Beach paper around it, some foam to keep it secure, and standard silica gel out there, and cabling and an extra box inside. So we'll take this out and have a look. So box to the side. See, I love this stuff. I know it's good for the environment using paper, but I love the fact that it's not just like awkward, clingy plastic. The fact that more brands are using a nice paper sleeve, for want of a better word. It looks good, and it's just really easy to get into. And speaking of looking good, look at that. See, I know what Bibby's like as an editor, so this is where we're going to have some cool, up-close, slow-moving shots. Up-close, slow-moving shots. Slow-moving shots. Wrong. When I say you say, we say, they say, make some noise. Which is exactly what this keyboard deserves, because if you've never seen a Vulkan keyboard before, this isn't the first Vulkan, this is the Vulkan II. Obviously the name implies it's not the first one, but this is the 10 keyless version. But they are really, really nice keyboards. You can see exposed switches, shiny, smooth surfacing, textured metallic, I want to say aluminium, I could be wrong on that one, casing. And then, I don't know if this will come through the mic. If you didn't catch that, that is a depressible volume button, which is a volume knob, should I say, which doubles up as a mute button. So functional, usable, it's good. Really, really like this. So the back side of the keyboard, there is some texturing, which is nice, and obviously feet to give it a little bit of an angle if you like to type at an angle. Keys are nice and stuff. I won't go into any of that stuff. I'll leave all of that for a review, but yeah, there you go. There is the keyboard. Let's have a look at what else is in the box. So we have QR code with info on how to download the Swarm 2 software that you need to operate the keyboard. And then if we take the insert out, you don't have to take it fully. There's like a folding sleeve, I suppose. Inside there, there's a braided USB-A to USB-C cable. I actually got that right. Usually I have to stop and think about that. USB-A to USB-C. Oosh. You'd think I've done a few unboxing videos in the past. Nice. And in this one, I don't know what's in this. Is this replaceable caps or something?
Would you like to know what that is, Graham?
Oh, tell me, babe.
That is a prong to replace the caps.
Ah, okay. So that is something, we'll come back to that in the review as well, but you can replace the switches on this keyboard. It's hot swappable as well. So if you want to replace, there you go, replacement switches. You want to replace any switches, you get a few spares in there, so you can hot swap, take keys out and put new keys back in whilst you are still plugged in. So if you are mid-game, you've got a 24-hour session, which we've done in the studio before, and you want to change something. I've never changed a key in my life, so I'm not even going to pretend to know how to do that. But you can use that, take the switch out, put a new switch in without unplugging or turning anything off, which is quite useful, I suppose. But like I say, we'll come back to that in the review. For now, that is the Vulkan II TKL from Turtle Beach. Let's jump in the review. From its slick exposed switches to hot swapping support and a volume dial that you'll actually use, the Vulkan II TKL looks like the perfect mid-range competitive keyboard. But is it really worth your desk space? Let's find out. This is the Turtle Beach Vulcan II TKL gaming keyboard. And if you spot something you like about this in the video, we've dropped a link right to this down below. We've been using it for the last couple of weeks across gaming, typing workloads, and whilst it's been impressively balanced overall, there are a handful of things you should know before buying. This review is not sponsored. We do have #ad disclosures on the video though, as we are Turtle Beach partners and we do get kickbacks when you use our code. Save yourself 10% on all Turtle Beach products. Use code ICU and save yourself 10% of purchases while supporting us in making you more videos. Plus, our friends at Turtle Beach provided us, for this review, a couple of keyboards, but they do respect the fact that we make honest content to help you decide what is right for you and your setup. Now let's get to it. Right out of the box, the Vulkan II TKL has that distinctive Vulkan look with exposed switches, a brushed aluminium top plate, plus a volume dial that doubles up as a push button to mute. It's a design that's bold without being gaudy. It's a TKL keyboard too, and if you don't know what that means, we're actually going to go off topic for just a second. We had a few people talking about this in a stream recently, and we said we'd cover it in a video, so here we are. Okay, this is a little bit of a learn with ICU segment. So this is a TKL keyboard, which is short for 10 keyless, and that's a compact keyboard layout that removes the numeric keypad on the right, the 10 keys. So that's taken away from a standard full-size keyboard. A TKL is often called an 80% keyboard as it retains the main typing area, the function keys and the arrow keys, which makes it about, you guessed it, 80% the size of a full keyboard. And the reason you'd choose a 10 keyless layout is if you're looking to free up some space for wider mouse movement alongside it, which makes TKLs ideal for shooter games and competitive players. And just for belt and braces, there are other sizes of keyboards. There's the 60% and the 40%, but we'll leave all of that alone for now and come back to this, the Vulkan II TKL. This is a wired keyboard and it comes with a detachable power cable that is braided as well. This actually just sits nicely into this. This is the left side, but I've got it the wrong way around. So I'd say this way, but I still don't know if that's the left for you because of mirroring, but you get the idea. Anyway, a nice detachable USB-C cable. And because it is USB-C, if you've already got a USB-C standardized setup, this won't cause you any issues when it comes to compatibility or having to get extra adapters. So this is the keyboard, this is the cable. It is worth noting that there is no wrist rest with the Vulkan II TKL, something that you might see on some other keyboards, particularly the longer 100% full-size ones like the Vulkan II Max, for example. So keep that in mind if you like the extra wrist support. I am 40 now, and I am very much in UNC territory, so wrist support is good for me. I must say, I think we should start some sort of petition to normalise wrist supports being provided with every keyboard. Anyone with me? No? Oh, okay, nice. This thing uses Titan HS linear mechanical switches with a short 1.8mm actuation point and smooth actuation. So it's ideal for fast gaming input and bashing it over there, let's try again, goddamn. Third time lucky, less farts, less damage, let's go. This thing uses Titan HS linear mechanical switches with a short 1.8mm actuation point and smooth actuation, so it's ideal for fast gaming inputs and solid performance in shooters. The keys feel quick, feel smooth, and are pre-lubed. Nice. That essentially means that they keep noise and spring chatter down, which is great if you're using it in a shared space or you work from home or anything like that. And on that note, it's actually not bad for typing on either. Clacky buttons, the ones that give you that loud clacky noise. I had to bash that then to make that. These aren't clacky. But clacky buttons can sometimes feel like you're using a typewriter if you're using it for typing, but these switches have a nice glidey feel that transfers pretty well to general use alongside gaming. But it isn't flawless, I will say that though, it isn't flawless. The ABS keycaps, you can probably see in the pictures maybe if I get it in the right light, they have a bit of a shine to them because they're silky smooth on the surface, which is classy, but it can be an issue for people. People like the surface to be grippy, not slippy, and also if you have greasy fingertips or maybe you're smashing a packet of Doritos while you're playing, you can leave greasy fingerprints on the surface too. Do not use this keyboard and eat any Doritos, or we'll send Bibby after you. Okay, that's never been an issue for me, but I'm just throwing it out there so you can make up your own mind. So they are a bit shiny, and some people don't like that. So now moving on to the open, exposed switch aesthetic and lightly curved ABS caps. They can initially feel unusual if you're coming from thicker sculpted keys or even tactile keys. Currently I'm using a tactile keyboard, so this does feel bigger, but it isn't a step up to the more clunkier keycaps that I've used in the past. So it's kind of in the middle of those two. But as with any new peripheral, you're probably going to need a short adjustment period to get used to any new keyboard. So this is kind of the same as that. We did mention hot swapping in the unboxing, but the hot swappable support for 3-pin and 5-pin switches is a great touch. It means that you can swap switches if you want a different feel. Bashed it again, but we're going to keep going. Nice. But the reality for me is that I'm probably not going to be doing that anytime soon. I might throw in a replacement switch if ever one does get faulty. Say I'm full on W keying for too long and I need a new one. Fine. But the likelihood is that I'm probably not going to be changing out the entire board anytime soon. If you're watching this though, and you feel like, do you know what, that's something that I'm interested in, something that I might be doing, then do let us know and we can look to grab some of that content for you if you need it. We'll probably pull that into a future video or a stream. Just let us know in the comments. The fact that the switches are hot swappable means that you can swap them out whilst it's plugged in. You don't have to completely unplug it to be able to do any of that, but it can be a little finicky to pop the switches out though. So whilst you do have hot swapping as an option, which could be good for people that need to lock in mid-game and tighten up the feel of one of their switches, the reality is that for most people, it might still just be better to unplug it and take the keyboard to somewhere a little bit more comfortable so you can make those changes. So you did see this in the unboxing, and we aren't showing it now. I've mentioned that we can come back to it if you want. If you do want to see us use the switch tool to change the switches on the keyboard, do let us know in the comments. Like I say, all of that is all about making this thing be more comfortable for you. Speaking of comfort, if you wanted to use third-party keycaps, whether it's for a different shape or that slidey texture, you wanted it to be a bit more grippy, or maybe you just want a bigger font on the buttons for accessibility, you can do all of that with the Vulkan II. It uses third-party keycaps. So this keyboard ticks all the right boxes from a competitive standpoint. Full N key rollover and 100% anti-ghosting means that this bad boy gives you accurate inputs no matter how many keys you're pressing at once. Also, ReactApp SOCD cleaning ensures that directional movements are prioritized smartly. And if you don't know what any of that means, basically, this has tech that helps you in games where simultaneous inputs matter. So if you're pressing multiple buttons at once, it still knows what you're trying to do. In actual gameplay, strafing, crouching, quick directional changes, they all feel snappy with no perceivable missed inputs during any of our sessions. It's been good. Our creators, we like you. So this is an RGB keyboard, and the per key RGB lights, they work beautifully thanks to the exposed switch design. And Turtle Beach's Swarm 2 software lets you customize any colors, any effects, and save profiles on board, as well as remap keys. I'm clearly a big fan of RGB. If anyone's seen my setup, you know I'm a fan of RGB. So that is obviously a huge win for me. However, while Swarm 2's UI is very functional and very good for getting the things done that you need to do, I will admit it's not the most polished. Don't get me wrong, it absolutely does the job that you need it to, but it isn't quite as impressive as the hardware itself. If you had to choose one area to be bad though, it probably would be that. So it's not too bad, and you can probably expect software updates going forward to improve it. But for now though, once you're set, you don't really need to touch it. So it's probably not that big a problem. So let's talk cash money. At its price point, $119.99, this stacks up very, very well against other keyboards on the market. You're getting a lot of feature set for the money: hot swapping, NKRO, exposed RGB, and solid build quality, all without breaking the bank. It doesn't have some premium features like a wrist rest, as I mentioned, I'm old, or USB pass-through. People like to plug things straight into their keyboards. You can't do that on this, but for players that are focused on performance and core features, it's a compelling option. So, quick fire pros and cons. Pros: strong build and exposed RGB lighting. Smooth responsive Titan HS switches. Hot swappable switch support, React tap, NKRO, and anti-ghosting included, and a volume dial with push to mute, which feels premium. Cons: ABS keycaps can feel slippery and show finger oils. No wrist rest included. Software is good, but could be better, and hot swap is possible, but can be slightly fiddly in practice. So the conclusion is that the Turtle Beach Vulcan II TKL is a very solid mid-range mechanical keyboard. It delivers on performance, lighting, and feature set without a huge price tag, and for competitive gamers or everyday users alike, it's easy to recommend as a daily driver. If you want a clean TKL board, exposed RGB, hot swappable support, and responsive keys without paying top-tier enthusiast prices, this hits that sweet spot. If flashy extras, premium software, or ultra-specialized competition features are what you're after, you might want to look at some other options. But for people that want a solid gaming keyboard that's a big step ahead of that cheap Amazon brand that you've never heard of, which is probably what most people that I play with want, then this makes a serious case at its price point. Speaking about price points, as always, our link is down below if you want to check it out yourself. I will say though, it's in demand. So it's often out of stock in the UK. Apologies, UK viewers, apologies. So if it is unavailable when you come to look, sorry about that. But Turtle Beach are working on restocking as hard as they can. The US viewers though, you might be in luck. Make sure you use code ICU. You can save yourself 10% while supporting us, and you'll get more reviews like this in the future. So that's our thoughts, that's our review. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. What matters most to you in a keyboard? Performance, style, or features? Hit that like button if you found this helpful. It really does help us out and helps us to make more content like this for you. Until next time though, stay frosty.